Skip past the chat. So I've been rocking the iPhone 17 Pro for about a month now. So I want to show you exactly what my setup's like, case, customization, apps, settings, stuff like that. So yeah, let's get right into it. Before we get started, I'm using the silver iPhone 17 Pro with the Apple clear case. Also, if you're interested in the wallpaper I'm using, it's the Abstract 01 from my wallpaper pack. I'll leave a link to it in the description. It also comes in 2 other colorways so you can match it to your own setup or aesthetic. Starting with the lock screen, I've got the clock scaled to its max size because it matches the wallpaper aesthetic perfectly. To do this, just hold down on your lock screen, tap Customize, select the clock, set the font to default, and drag it to its max size. Under that, I keep the weather widget so I know what the day is looking like before heading out. For shortcuts, I've got flashlight on the left and ChatGPT on the right for quick access whenever I have business or content ideas or just a simple question. I actually removed the default camera shortcut because you can use the camera control button instead. Then my action button is set to toggle silent mode whenever I need to, but I know a ton of people use it differently, so comment what you have yours set to. Swiping over to the left, at the top, I have the Thought Mob widget to keep up with Manchester United. Unfortunately, supporting them comes with weekly depression, but it is what it is. It is a great app though. You can follow various teams, players, lineups, view the tables, and get some news updates. I follow Man United, Barca, and Ecuador since I am Ecuadorian, if you didn't already know. Below that, I have a Gumroad widget to track my digital product sales, a battery widget for my AirPods, one for investments, an Apple Card widget just so I don't forget to pay it off, and then screen time to of course remind me to get off my phone. Now onto the home screen. This is actually my only page. I like keeping it super minimal with only the essentials. At the top, I've got a widget stack that starts with ChatGPT, then fitness apps, Spotify, screen time, the Bible, and Notion calendar. On TikTok, I've been asked a lot how to do the widget stack, and it's actually super easy. Just long press on the home screen, tap the edit icon, add a widget, and then select a large widget for one of your apps. Then do the same thing again, but this time drag it over the other widget. Now you have a widget stack. You can repeat the process to add more widgets. You can also even remove them or rearrange the order. I then left a couple rows empty and split the left side of the screen with folders and singular apps on the right because I mainly use my phone on my right hand, so the apps I use 90% of the time, I like to keep it on the right for easy reach. I've also been asked how to leave empty rows like that, and you just simply drag your apps wherever you want them. Now, starting from the left, I have a folder called Train, which houses my fitness apps to keep track of my workouts and runs. The next folder is Money, which has all my finance related apps. Then we have Spotify, which is my music platform of choice, but I might give Apple Music a try next year. Following that is Safari. Then we have a Learn folder, which has an app called Medium, which is an app to read articles on different topics. I mainly read finance and entrepreneurship. Then I have Duolingo because I'm trying to learn some French. Onto my Create folder, I have all my content creation apps such as Lightroom, which is for editing photos. If you don't use Lightroom, it's absolutely goated in editing pictures. I went to the Bad Bunny Residencia last month, and here's some before and after shots that I took on the iPhone 13 Pro and edited on Lightroom. I then have YouTube Studio to see my analytics, but honestly, I think I need to post more on YouTube for me to actually use the app. I then have the Amaram app to control my filming light, and then the Sony Creators app, which lets me wirelessly connect to my ZVE1 and control it from my phone. The Files app for when I transfer over files from my MacBook to my phone. Notion, which I use to run my entire content creation business on. If you like a tour of it and how I organize my content on there, just let me know in the comments. On my dock, I have phone, then Notion Mail, which I've been trying out recently, and then messages. Now you must be wondering where all my other apps are, where they're all removed from the home screen and they're chilling in my app library. You can do this by holding down on any app, click remove, and remove from home screen. This will just keep it in your app library, which makes your phone less cluttered and distracting. I personally like to keep my phone as minimal as possible and focus on content, fitness, learning, or else, I'd just be doom scrolling every day on TikTok or IG. Also, if you're not following me yet over on those platforms, slide your boy a follow. Speaking about distraction free, I do have a work focus mode set up. I have mine set from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Friday through Sundays, which is essentially the time frame I've set myself to lock in and work on my content. For my control center, it's nothing special, just organize it in a way that felt more useful, and I swapped out a couple of controls. Now remember how I said I have light and dark mode versions of my wallpaper? Well, I have a cool shortcut that auto switches my wallpaper at a certain time during the day. To do this, make multiple wallpaper presets, Then open the Shortcuts app, select Automation, New Automation, select Time of Day, and set the time you want it to switch. Scroll down and select Run Immediately, and select Create a New Shortcut, and search for Switch Between Wallpapers. Select the wallpaper preset that you have made, and you're all done, and it will automatically swap wallpapers at the specific time you've set. You can then make a switch back by creating the same shortcut for the other wallpaper. Now, to take high quality photos and videos, these are the settings I would recommend and that I use on my 17 Pro. Go into camera settings, select record video, switch it to 4K 30 FPS for a natural look on social media. If you want it to be more cinematic, go for 24 FPS and keep enhanced stabilization on. Then set slow-mo at 4K 120 and cinematic at 4K 24. For the audio, I like to keep it on spatial audio for that immersive feel. For formats, set it to high efficiency, photos at 24 megapixels, and the most important setting, turn on Pro RAW and resolution control and JPEG XL lossy. Then under video capture, turn on Apple ProRes with the encoding as log so you can color grade your footage after. For preserved settings, enable everything except photographic styles and action mode. That way your camera always opens up with the same settings. For composition, I'd recommend to turn on grid and level for framing your shots. Then under indicators, I keep them all on for quick access within the camera app. In photo capture, set your default lens to 24mm and have the additional lenses turned on. A cool tip is that you can also cycle through lens focal lengths by pressing on the 1x when setting up a shot. And finally, a small but helpful setting, lens cleaning hints. This will remind you to wipe your lens if it's dirty before taking a picture. With that said, that's everything on my iPhone, from the apps I most use, customization, and settings to make it more optimized and enhance my workflow and daily life. If there's anything else you'd like me to go over that I didn't in this video, just let me know. I can do a long form here on YouTube or a short form on my other platforms, depending on what it is. I'm also still getting used to making long form videos, but if you have any feedback on how to make these videos more valuable and enjoyable for you all, just let me know. And with that said, thanks for watching. Det var en próxima chat.